introduce yourself and start at the very beginning how you got into veganism and then what happened? Why did you quit in the end?
Yeah. So the first thing that came across my radar with veganism was the raw veganism, basically. The term vegan was never on my mind. I actually didn't hear about it. It wasn't very trendy at that time.
Hmm.
Before that point, the last time I heard the word vegan was when I was like a kid, and there was like some girl who called herself vegan. But other than that, it was really not popular.
Yeah.
But the thing that was popular, kind of, was this thing, the raw food diet. And I knew some people that like went to Burning Man and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they said a few things like it was amazing, and your hair and your nails and your skin, and kind of things like that.
Right.
And but that's not what really got me into it. For me, and as a personal side note, I was basically looking for something to get super excited about.
Yeah.
And I met this girl who was, full of. She had a good attitude on life because she had been through some serious shit with her health,
Hmm.
and it made her change. It made her be a positive person. She realized it's not worth stressing about things you can't control, and but the thing about the story was like, you can't. Sometimes if you can't take your health for granted, and therefore it's really important to take care of yourself all the time, so
Yeah.
that you don't get into a position where you're seriously ill. And so I just asked myself that question. I said, right, like how does someone become really in perfect health or great health or whatever, and like how do you take control? And so unfortunately the first thing that sort of crossed my radar was this raw food thing,
Hmm.
and I really drank the Kool-Aid on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened then? You were
Yeah.
raw vegan 6 months, right?
Yeah, I was about, overall, it was like I was 100% 6 months raw vegan, basically. And I just switched overnight. And I think I was so excited about it that it kind of worked, like for the time being. And I just went instantly to juicing and eating apples and carrots and not much else. And I guess I was just, yeah, like I said, excited.
Mostly fruitarian?
I probably ate a lot of fruit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember eating a lot of carrots, too.
What do you think about the people who believe that we are frugivores, that we should only eat fruit?
Yeah, I just think they're really energetically disbalanced, to use like terms they might use.
Okay.
It's not really connected to the earth very well, like the closest thing they have to a root thing is like a carrot, like a root vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they have good intentions. Maybe they're spiritually inclined people.
Hmm.
But it's just a little bit naive.
Yeah. Did you feel any side effects from the raw vegan diet?
Yeah,
Any health problems?
yeah. Well, I think that I just thought I was really, really excited, but I think what happened is I was running off a lot of adrenaline most of the time, which
Yeah.
eventually led to a burnout.
Hmm.
Um, and the side effects were, yeah, basically led to adrenal burnout, I guess. And I noticed actually I slept a lot as well too. I slept way too much.
Hmm.
Yeah, too late, and I'd just go to sleep too early.
Not a lot of energy, or how did it feel?
Well, yeah, actually, to be honest, like, probably mostly because I was so excited about it all and stuff, and I was on a kick in life, and I dropped out of college and, all sorts of stuff. This was back in 2009 and 10, by the way. So I think I was just way too excited, but I also started to realize that I was behaving a little bit like manic. Like I was way too excited, like I was like kind of like high in a very unsustainable way, and I was a little bit off the charts. And so I had that kind of energy.
Did you notice any weight loss?
A ton of weight loss.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm naturally quite, lean.
Hmm.
I've always been like that, but I got really much too lean. Like when I did this, it was just
Right.
ribs, and it was
Right.
far too lean. My cheekbones were too.
Right.
My face wasn't quite right.
And that happened in the 6 months.
Yeah, yeah. I think I started around the winter time,
Mm-hmm.
or spring,
Right.
and yeah. There's some pictures. Maybe we'll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were technically eating yourself partly also in the time.
Yeah.
That's what happens a lot of times.
Yeah.
The fruitarians also, they eat a lot of sugar, but partly they eat their own body fat,
Right.
and then
Right.
they give up eventually. Why did you give up in the end? What made you stop?
Yeah. So I think what happened was what I remember was actually going to acupuncture, and in my hometown there's like it's called Five Branches
Mm-hmm.
University. It's like a Chinese medicine school, and you can go get like a $30 acupuncture. And I just did it because I'm curious about these kinds of things. So, and she noticed that I was really disbalanced. She asked about my diet,
Mm-hmm.
and she's at that point. I think at that point I was starting to eat some more cooked vegetables, you know. But she said like, you should eat some chicken soup. It has some yang energy in it.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And it was kind of a cold day and the time of year, so I said, okay. And I had some chicken soup, and I was like, I felt good after the chicken soup, and then I had a chicken sandwich or something at home, and it was just, like I just felt the fat
Right.
coming in. And yeah, pretty basically since then I started to go more and more
Mm-hmm.
regular, and then eventually I got more into to to healthy meats, and to eventually to raw meats.
Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned it was winter. Did you also feel cold? Maybe more
Yeah,
cold than usual?
yeah, I did. I felt very cold. One of the main health problems I had was a circulation problem,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably a low blood pressure. And in fact, I remember going to the doctor for a checkup, and I had low blood pressure.
Okay.
But I would every time I'd stand up, I would get lightheaded.
Mm-hmm.
So if I would stand up from this interview, I would kind of have my vision would kind of go for a second too. I'd
Right,
feel like
right.
tingly in the head,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it was not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you see the future of veganism? What do you think it's about? Is it just some trend?
Oh boy, yeah, it's really trendy. I think it really plugs into the political agenda. It really plugs into the guilt that's
Yeah.
being pushed, in so many different ways based on your ethnicity, your skin color. It's very trendy to have guilt of different kinds. If it's white guilt, or guilt because you come from a country that colonized the rest of the world and spread technology or whatever. So yeah, the future will probably continue this way, and it's going to be a big corporate grab, just like everything else. Same story. Uh, just yeah, kind of like with marijuana. Like everyone thought weed was really cool, and it's just not far off until it's very corporate.
Hmm.
So that kind of thing.
Right. Anything else you would like to add? Anything special? Some memory from the time?
Some
Any
memory.
lesson you learned? Anything from it?
Yeah. Let's think about that. Yeah. Well.
Anything you would like to say to vegans, maybe, if there's any watching, especially raw vegans or fruitarians?
Yeah. Yeah. I would just say, be aware of dogma, and it's good to be excited about something in life. It's good to try something new, see how you feel, but be aware of consequences, and be realistic when it comes to what the human being is. That we aren't. Don't believe the story that we're coming from plants.
Mm-hmm.
That's our history as a species.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Thank you.